When I first heard the term design thinking a few years ago, after I read Tim Brown's book from IDEO, at first I didn't really understand the term. We never uttered that word. I never heard it in Apple's design studio. It just wasn't part of my friendship circles. So I started paying attention to the term design thinking when professors and friends of mine at Stanford, the University of Wisconsin, and Georgia Tech, they started teaching design thinking not just in their design schools, but also in their MBA schools. And it was at that point where I actually started diving into it deeper and realized the value and the benefit of actually opening up that dialogue amongst the business community and finance individuals, etc. You bring up a really good point. It's around inclusivity and exclusivity. And I think the core to effective design thinking in a corporation and for designers to being able to affect change, they really need to work on that inclusivity. My biggest contribution to the company over the last 5 years has been bringing iconic equipment design and physical consumer touchpoints back in as worthy and relevant marketing assets and brand equities. What separates good design from good brand identity? And I truly believe you need a three-dimensional or form design language that's very solid in order to achieve good brand identity. And I think you need that in multi-dimensions from graphic design. But what I was getting at is that I spent a lot of time speaking internally and externally in helping my cross-functional business partners, and junior designers, and suppliers and manufacturers and design agency partners understand how we measure design and how we actually use this design thinking inspired form language on is really the importance of sustainable design. I mean, those are really the next things that I'm focused on at Coca-cola, and we really have a very concerted closed loop approach. And this is also another design thought and design-led conversation and strategy within a company where we're looking at if we put aluminum in the marketplace, or steel, or plastic, or paper, or wood, that we're first using those materials and we redesign equipment and shelves, etc. And so I'm really excited about sustainability design and what does sustainability look like to young consumers, so that when they see a product, does this have to look like it was made from recycled aluminum? Because it is. It's made from 40% recycled aluminum, and you wouldn't know it because it's been upcycled and it's beautiful. And so how do we educate consumers that there's a lot of good and closed loop reuse of materials in this system? So I think sustainable design, but I think the last one is really accessible design. How for the Coca-Cola freestyle design, that we needed to design for handicapped or disabled consumers. There's something in the U.S. called the ADA, the American with Disabilities Act. And the Coca-Cola freestyle has a microprocessor in it, and a touchscreen, and has 43 micro nozzles, and we adopted a lot from the pharmaceutical industry, and just this compilation of greatness from so many industries. And what I'm most proud of it, which was design thinking led, is the way that we've developed the ADA user interface. I have 3 different disciplines. I started off in electrical engineering. I then received my master's in business, and then I went back to get a master's in human factors design. So I see myself as someone who continually tries to reinvent or transform himself, and I truly believe that if you can't reinvent yourself, you can't reinvent a team. I like to see myself as actually more of a design leader who can help lead and steward great designers, but actually mentor those designers so that they become design thinkers and design strategists and then business leaders. And actually, running the company. And maybe we'll get to it later, but I talk a lot about the importance of it's so important for designers to be in the boardroom. It's important for board members and CEOs and CFOs to be in the design studio. And to do that, you have to take the time to build the respect of those disciplines, to learn their disciplines, so that you can build that respect, then you can understand what goals they're trying to achieve, and to help make their goals be more successful. And conversely, I spend a lot of time, and designers spend a lot of time learning about finance and about systems thinking and how to communicate in a profit-oriented return on investment strategy. And it's changed things considerably.